Listen up. Let's go, let's go!
Welcome to Trojans Live, the exclusive USC Trojans coaches show.
Williams will keep. He'll run it to the 20, to the 15, down to the 10, 5, and into the end zone.
With behind-the-scenes insights and breaking news from the student athletes who play for the Cardinal and Gold.
Fires. It's intercepted by Bullock at the 20. He's at the 10. He's in the end zone. It's a touchdown, USC. Kalen Bullock, the All-American. How do you do?
Trojans Live is presented by Monster Energy. Unleash the bass. Now, live from Los Angeles, here are your hosts, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Max Brown.
Hello and welcome to Trojans Live, presented by Monster Energy on AM 790 KBC and across the USC Trojans Media Network. I am Jordan Moore, but who cares about that? Let's take a look at the
Check it out.
Sean Cody. If you're listening on the radio, you're missing out. This is a Halloween tradition here for Sean, and it's a YouTube.
This is the best one yet. The green
only.
tights. This is
Oh,
big
it's
time.
way better when I stand.
You're getting the full experience if you're
way
watching
better.
on
You
YouTube.
guys, it's too bad I got to sit down today.
Yes, you are Peter Pan. My father was watching and said that you look great as Robin Hood. So I'm not sure that everyone's getting it.
It could be Robin
but,
Hood in a tights.
Peter Pan
kind of look too.
Yes, yes. Max Brown, the head coach, Lincoln Riley. The rest of us just pale in comparison to Sean, Coach. So I don't know. This is what we got. This is why he is who he is. We appreciate you taking the time. USC's head coach interview is presented by I Trust Capital, the official crypto platform of the USC Trojans. We're having fun, Coach, and it leads me to my first question, which is you have talked this season about not losing the fun in wins. Talk about your team after that game and the feeling in that locker room and celebrating that moment.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was just, I think more than anything, just after three quarters and you're there together. I said it after. There's nowhere to hide. You have to win this game. You're down at that point in the fourth quarter, right there at the beginning, 2 scores.
Yep.
And you got to go find a way to do it. And that was our best ball of the game. And, I think to see that, kind of manifest itself in the way it did, to transpire the way it did with all that's gone on here, the last few weeks was really cool to see the guys respond. And, they were it was a fun locker room after it was. To come back and win like that on the road, down like we were, was a tremendous effort. And it showed it wasn't the cleanest, certainly, that we can play by any stretch, but this team has a lot of guts. This team has a lot of toughness, has a lot of character. They fight, man. I mean, they fight, and they continue to fight all throughout that thing, and that's the number one reason we won the game.
Yeah, Coach, I think it's what's this kind of the identity of this team so far this season. You've been in some tight battles here, and you guys continually fight. You've been on the bottom side of that a couple times, but for the most part, you guys find a way to get it done. Talk about your team's mentality and how is that created, and how have you seen that progress as the season's gone on?
Well, it's been important for this year, and it'll be important going forward into future years as you continue to establish the winning culture and the attitude that we want here at USC. I mean, we've had 4 games in a row where at some point in those games we've been down double digits.
Yep.
And we've come back and won 2. We were just a quarter of Eric Gentry's index finger from getting 3. And I still feel like very, very close. Probably 1 possession away there in the third quarter of the Notre Dame deal, with that one potentially turning out different as well. So the common denominator is anytime we've been down, we've put ourselves right back in the mix. Yep. I mean, we have, and that shows a lot. I mean, listen, we want to play as good as we can. We want to play cleaner more than anyone wants us to play cleaner. But you still got to find a way to put yourself in position to win at the end of the day, and we're doing that. And so, the obvious battle for us right now is the consistency, is some of the breakdowns, some of the mental mistakes that we've got a handful of plays every single game, right, or these last several games on each side of the ball, on all 3 sides, that we're not making. Self-inflicted errors that we are gifting our opponents, and that's the reason that these games have been close, and that's the number one reason by a mile that we have had to come back in some of these games. And the reality is, if you can go, we don't need to fix 60 plays. We need to fix 5 to 10 on each side of the ball, and you flip those, and all of a sudden we don't make those breakdowns. We don't give those teams those opportunities, we make those plays, these games feel a lot different. And so that's our journey, that's our path. But to find a way to win, especially this one here, with all that's, like I said, all that's transpired over the last few weeks was big because it sets up an incredible opportunity.
Thanks for taking my question seriously in my outfit as well.
It was a challenge.
Appreciate it. Eye contact wavered, but you
Gotta keep the eyes up.
That's right. That's right.
Coach, because it's so few plays that you need to fix, and it's not like, oh, you got to fix this one position group or this one area of the game, and that's been a theme, the past month or so. And I would imagine in your seat, it's a fine line between you don't want to overcoach because you want guys to just cut it loose and play free, but you still need to coach because you got to fix the issues. How do you approach that fine line, and how has that maybe adjusted over the past month or so?
Oh, we're attacking the team with it. I mean, you're not, we're not going to reach the things that we want to reach if we don't aggressively go after it. And we're doing that as coaches. We're doing that with our players. We want to play great here down the stretch. I think that's really important. And I do feel like last Saturday's got an opportunity to be, I think, that spark that this team's been looking for a little bit. I really do. And how we played in that fourth quarter, and how we had to bow up. Again, the stretch to me that still just sticks out in my mind is cause a turnover, offense turns it right back over, and they've got the ball there around the plus 40 in great field position for Cal, and we go 4 and out right there.
You could sense that on the TV watching it.
That was okay. Like that was a defining moment of that game, and I honestly think we'll look back. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we look back years down the road and look back on that and say that wasn't a defining moment for this team in its entirety. That was everything, and that was what we're capable of. And I think the guys felt it, the sideline felt it, and then we took it down and scored and had some good special teams plays, and it was cool to see that run in that moment, man, because it was like, you felt like you had the momentum and you're coming back, and then you give it right back to him. You got to go out there and stop him again. It was just bam, 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 4 plays in a row, all executed at a high level, and that's what we can be, and that's like that vision that we're holding on to and kind of that mountaintop that we're chasing right now.
You're listening to the head coach, Lincoln Riley, on Trojans Live. Coach, the run defense was significantly better in the second half than it was the first. There was an obvious thing that happened is that all of a sudden your big bear got to start playing in the second half. Is it that obvious? Were there other adjustments made? Did guys just tackle better, play faster, or does he make that much of a difference?
I mean, he helps. He's a good player inside. But, yeah, I can't look at the first half and say, well, it was just because he wasn't there. I mean, the reality is we gave up 2 explosive runs in the first half. And I mean, we have a defensive lineman come out of gap and a safety misfit, and you have a D lineman and a safety both go the wrong direction against a tailback that has great speed like Ott does. That's going to happen. I mean, it's bad football, and again, it's disappointing because you should have 2 people right there, and 2 people don't do their job, and that's what it looks like. And then we had a defensive lineman come out on the first one, and so those are mistakes that can't happen. The reality is, in the second half, we didn't make those mistakes. I mean, we were in our gaps. And both of the times, like, the guys are there, they're right there, and then they shuck off and think they want to make the play back inside, and then all of a sudden they're not in their gaps, and a good back's going to find that, and he's just going to probe it and see if there's a weakness in there, and if one guy comes out of gap, there he goes. And so, yeah, and that changed. Listen, those 2 runs changed the game. I mean, in a lot of ways, because as a play caller, you got to call it a little bit different after that, and it fit right into. It was a perfect script for Cal, right? You pop those 2 runs early, and then all of a sudden all the RPOs and all that are just so much more relevant, which, the second half we start shutting down the run game, and now all of a sudden those RPOs aren't really very threatening anymore. And now you got guys sitting back and you're tipping balls and intercepting balls and, playing it the way that really good defense looks like. And so, but those are the ones we got to make. That's part of that 5 to 10, right? There's obviously that single play and however many yards they gain or if they score a touchdown. And listen, there's just as many offensively right now, just as many. But there's also like the momentum side of it, right? The human element of it. You're up 10-0, right? You got all the momentum in the world. Like, what's the game like if you shut that thing down and say you go score again, and all of a sudden now those RPOs aren't quite as threatening. Like it, those are pivotal moments, especially road football, especially when you've been kind of through the stretch that we have, and like those are the ones that we got to flip. And it's like I've told the guys, we don't need to change 60 plays. We need to change about 5 to 10 a game that we're messing up. And if we don't mess those up, all of a sudden we're not gifting those, and now we're constantly putting pressure on the opponent. Man, everything feels different, everything. But you got to do it, and we got to do it, and we need to do it now.
Coach, I think when I watch the game and I see the explosive plays, and obviously a dismal first quarter. You guys, like I said, jump out of your gaps and stuff, but it seems like a reoccurring theme every game is the explosive plays. And I've been on defenses. You're not going to play a perfect game. You're not going to be in every single gap and guys are getting out. But I think the message is sometimes, hey, get out of your gap, but we need someone to find a way to get them down, to live another down. Just seems like you guys haven't got that message yet. What's the coaching point to try to make them establish, like, hey, you might be out of gap, but we need 11 guys flying to the ball. Just get them down one more time so we can have another round of downs to get after it.
Yeah, I think that's, largely to me, I mean, that's where your safeties, your secondary, and then your backside pursuit's got to come in. Now, when it comes out as clean as those do, the backside pursuit's going to have a tough time, and that's where it is so penalizing. But yeah, certainly on both of those runs, there's opportunities for guys in the secondary to get in and finish those off. Because you're right, yeah, if you do come out, you don't want it to be a 40-yard. You want it to be an 18-yard play, and you live to fight another down and go create a turnover the next play. And so certainly something that our guys have got to do a better job of.
Go ahead, Max.
Coach, I noticed in your interviews recently, like many people, you've been saying, hey, the Pac-12 is the best and the deepest conference, and that's been a theme the past couple of weeks, and it's funny that it's coming in the last year of this conference as it currently is. You obviously spent a lot of time in the Big 12. Did you come into the conference with a certain perception of how the Pac-12 would be, and how has that perception may have changed over the past couple of years, and what's different or what's held true to that?
Yeah, I was interested we hadn't played a lot of Pac-12 teams in my time there. I played a couple, and so I was interested what it would be like. I mean, I knew the most important thing for the Pac-12 was this program getting going, and this program had been, in my opinion, the number one reason why the Pac-12 had been down. And again, if your bell cow's not bringing it home, like, good luck. And there's other conferences that have seen that as well, and so. I knew once we got back to being competitive and one of those teams that was gonna, I think, be good for the league. I think it does a lot of things for the league. I think it's made the league more competitive, and I think it's helped raise everybody else up. And then you've got a unique year here, man, where a lot of teams returned a lot of talent. Obviously, there's really good quarterback play at damn near every school in the league right now. There's a lot of deep teams, and then obviously with the transfer portal and people being able to be aggressive there and add to these rosters, you've just got a lot of good teams, and even the teams that are. We got a handful of teams that are at the bottom of the league standings that have spent time ranked this year. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a really good league. I mean, it really is. It's as strong as I can remember a league being in a while. Talking like truly top to bottom, like it really is. There's just a lot of everybody's pretty tough. Like everybody's. I mean. Everybody's good enough to win, and everybody's good enough to beat good competition. And I think some people on the outside are having a hard time wrapping their heads around that. Like I wouldn't have been surprised that Cal was going to be a challenge. I mean, look at every game this year. Like they were going to be a challenge. Yeah. I mean, it's at their place. Yeah, it was going to be a challenge. I mean, you look at. What Arizona's done the last few weeks. They're playing at a really high level. I mean, so Arizona State, go on the road and come with just a whisker beating Washington there, and they've had some really good wins here. And so, I mean, they're just everybody has. And so, yeah, it's a darn good league. It's probably a little better than I thought it would be, here in year two, but it's just kind of been the perfect storm for the league right now.
Well, the battle for first place in the Pac-12 is going to play out in front of us on Saturday night, right where we want it to be in the Coliseum. USC versus Washington, a 4:30 p.m. kick. We will go on with the Trojan Tailgate Show at 2:30. Monster Energy, the official energy drink of USC. Unleash the Beast. Trojans Live is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC. USC football. We'll talk a little bit about the Huskies next on Trojans Live.
Blue 42.
Give me the energy to catch the ball, to blow by the defense, to crush whatever comes at me, to win the division, the conference. A ring?
Monster Hydro helps Grunk perform at his best every day with the energy and electrolytes your body needs to win on or off the field.
Monster Hydro, advanced hydration for everyday performance, hard charging hydration.
It's time to recharge, reconnect, and rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. And with your resort favorites back in action, there's all of the excitement and comfort you love with the peace of mind you can depend on. So whenever you're ready for a little rest, a little relaxation, and a lot of fun, we'll be here. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino today.
Hello and welcome to The Ralph's Show. At Ralph's, everyone wins when it comes to saving big. Because when you order online through the Ralph's app, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery that you do in-store. With no hidden fees or markups. Best of all, you'll know when items in your cart have a coupon, so you never miss a deal. So whether you're a delivery lover, picker-upper, or you shop in-store, you'll always save big at Ralph's. Ralph's, fresh for everyone.
Trojans at the 10-5 touchdown. USC. Make big plays on the field and in life. With iTrust Capital, you can buy and sell crypto 24/7 with the tax benefits of a retirement account. That's right. Invest in crypto with the tax advantages of an IRA. iTrust Capital is easy to use and has no sign-up fees.
Yeah, but even most
make big plays now. Visit iTrustCapital.com to start investing today. iTrust Capital, the official cryptocurrency platform of the USC Trojans. Taxes and conditions may apply. Cryptocurrencies are speculative investments.
Looking for the play of the day? That's easy. Fight on to victory with USC and fly on faster with ONT, the fastest and easiest airport experience in SoCal. Not to mention, Ontario International Airport has over 65 nonstop flights to more than 20 major destinations with less traffic coming in and out. In other words, getting here is a breeze, and so is following our Trojans anywhere the season takes them. Because let's be honest, faster is always better when it comes to your airport. Start planning your next journey today at SoCalSoEasy.com.
Covering all things SC.
Touchdown, USC!
It's Trojans Live on your home for Trojans football, AM 790 KABC.
Hey, Trojan fans, did you know the Ralph's app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons? You can earn fuel points, too. Check out the app today and save while you cheer us on to another great season. Ralph's, proud partner of USC Athletics. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown, the head coach Lincoln Riley for one more segment. As I mentioned, going into break, Washington comes into town for homecoming Saturday at the Coliseum. Sold out, so you have to hit those other websites to get in and scoop up some tickets. But you mentioned it, Coach. It's the year of the quarterback in the Pac-12. They've got a great one. You've got a great one. They also have two of the top three receivers in the Pac-12. A pretty hefty challenge in Washington this Saturday.
Yeah, good football team. They've done a great job this year. Quarterbacks obviously played at a high level and does a great job, distributing to their playmakers, which they've got a really good group of playmakers. Runs the offense really, really well. You can tell. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience with Kalen and his system, and you can tell, right? It shows up, and so they played at a high level. They've got some really, some really good players defensively as well. It's a very, very talented roster. You got a number of guys that are projected pretty high NFL draft picks. A couple on both sides of the ball. So a good group, a good challenge. I mean, like it should be here at the end. Yeah, two good football teams going at it. So it's gonna be great.
Coach, you had to get into some politicking last week up in the Bay Area there. Call it halftime. You seemed like you knew what you were talking about. You were not going to let that go. You stayed out there and finally got your way in the second half. We're kicking a third in the second half. We're kicking a kick from the first half. How did you make that happen? I mean, you seem you're out there. You were pretty. You said you knew what you had going out there.
Yeah, well, you're getting ready to talk to Lake in a second, but when Lake caught the ball right on the fourth down play, I saw him get tackled, and as he's getting tackled, I'm running down the sideline to go call a timeout, and I looked up right as he got tackled, and I know there was time on the clock. It just went from 2 to 1, so I knew he was down, and at that point you're under 2 minutes. So once you get the first down, the clock's dead. The second he's down, it's dead, and so they obviously let the clock run out. The people back at the command center told them to send both teams to halftime, which in hindsight ended up being a mistake. And so they told me the half was over, and I said, that's fine, I'm challenging it. And they said, well, you can't. Say, well, yeah, I can. I have a timeout left. And so then they got back on the horn, and it was a long review. I was glad they didn't start the halftime clocks. I mean, we were out there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was I
was running out of material up in the booth, Coach.
It was a little bizarre, to be honest, just standing out there for 10 minutes while this happened. I thought about going to get something to eat or whatever, hanging out a little bit. But so anyways, they went through the review. He was down. And by that point, both teams obviously were in the locker room, so they made the decision, which in hindsight, I understand why they made the decision to do it. You'd love to just go kick it right then. I mean, you hate to have a kicker sit there all dang halftime and then come out and do it. We still got to make the kick, but I don't know, it probably ended up being a little bit of a disadvantage for us that way. But yeah, we obviously had the opportunity to go out and make the field goal. So I'm glad that they got it right in the long run.
Back to this week in the Huskies, looking at Coach DeBoer and his program. You guys are both in year 2, and one thing that sticks out to me is the staff continuity that you guys both have. A lot of your assistants have been with you for a long time. With Coach DeBoer, a lot of his assistants and coordinators have been with him at the D2 level, at Indiana, at Fresno State, now at Washington. Obviously, continuity just helps just getting to know the guy. But is there a specific area of your job where that continuity really shows up as, hey, that might be a different dynamic if that was a first-year assistant or a first-year coordinator that I had?
Oh, 100%. I think especially it shows up when you're trying to start a new program, and like you're going somewhere new. Like there's already going to be so much new to begin with anyway, that if you pile that on with a staff that's just mixed in from all over the place, you just add to it. And honestly, in my opinion, you probably slow the growth in the beginning. You slow the potential. And both these programs have gotten off the ground pretty quick. And I do think, both of us would look back and say the familiarity, the continuity with the staff was certainly a key factor in that. I know it has been here, and I think Kalen would say the same thing. So yeah, it's you got to have the right ones, but you can't put a price tag on people that you've been through those wars with and have that experience with. And then it may be new for some of the players or some of the other people, but it's not new for you guys, and that it counts.
All right, here we go. USC versus Washington, Saturday, 4:30 kickoff. It'll be on ABC on TV across the nation, and Trojan Tailgate Show will get you going at 2:30, and we'll be right here across the USC Trojans Media Network. Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week. We got Lake McRee, your tight end, coming up next on Trojans Live.
USC Trojan fans, Smart Stop Self Storage is ready for game day. Smart Stop Self Storage is committed to making the self-storage experience easy and hassle-free for all Trojan fans. Whether you're storing your Trojans tailgate gear, need temporary storage while moving to a new home, or need a storage solution for your business, we're here for you with convenient locations throughout Southern California. Smart Stop Self Storage, the smarter way to store. Visit smartstop.com to reserve your space today. Fight on. Fight on.
Introducing Stone Fight On Pale Ale, with a balanced blend of hops and a deep golden color as vibrant as the Southern California sunshine. Stone Fight On Pale Ale is brewed to be the perfect companion for the beach, the tailgate, or cheering on the Trojans. Stone Fight On Pale Ale is best enjoyed by holding a can in one hand and raising a V for victory with the other. Find Stone Fight On Pale Ale near you at find.stonebrewing.com. That's find.stonebrewing.com. Stone Brewing is a proud partner of USC Athletics.
Honey Stinger helps you prepare, perform, and recover throughout your athletic journey. Made with delicious honey and organic ingredients, Honey Stinger provides the fuel you'll need to push harder and go farther. Turn to Honey Stinger to achieve your performance goals and feel better along the way. Discover what all the buzz is about on honeystinger.com. Use code FIGHTON30 for 30% off organic waffles, chews, gels, and bars to help you sweeten the burn. Honey Stinger, official nutrition partner of USC Athletics.
SC fans, this football season, be sure to come out to Trojan Fan Fest, presented by Life Law Injury Lawyers. Located directly east of the Coliseum, right outside the Olympic Gateway, Trojan Fan Fest opens 4 hours before every home game kickoff, and it's free to fans of all ages. Inside the Trojan Fan Fest is the Modelo Ultimate Tailgate, serving up ice-cold cervezas with plenty of food truck options. There are also private tailgating options and fun for the whole family. It's all inside Trojan Fan Fest, presented by Life Law Injury Lawyers, proud supporter and official sponsor of the USC USC Trojans.
Cue up the band. Because Trojans Live is back exclusively on your home for Trojans football, AM 790 KABC.
The best of the game is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of USC Athletics, helping the world keep promises. Another big game for Lake McRee on Saturday. USC's redshirt sophomore tight end sits down with us now. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown. What's going on, Lake? I'll ask you sort of the same question I asked Coach. What did that win mean for the team? I mean, you guys are coming off back-to-back losses. Your coach was under the weather all week. Sometimes in this game it can feel like the world's against you. What did it mean to turn one around and get out of Berkeley with a win?
Yeah, it was a really good win. Like you said, coming off those 2 losses, we definitely needed something. We play in a pretty challenging conference, so any win any week is always really good. So, also any away game is very challenging. So we were really excited to walk out of there with a W.
Lake, take us through that play. Coach just talked about a little bit that before halftime you're going to get a chance, a big chunk play. You pick it up, you get down in time. And are you out there politicking as well, or you ran off to the locker room?
I probably should have got down faster. I didn't think that there was time when I got off. I didn't know that.
So you were trying to take it to the house.
Yeah, I thought that there wasn't enough time for me to get down. I thought it was kind of just like a one play, so I probably should have been smarter on that. But no, it was a weird thing. So I caught it. I went to the locker room. And I was kind of just sitting there. Normally how the halftime thing goes, the coaches talk, and then they'll come talk to us about adjustments. And one of the specialists ran in and said, "Field goal, get ready. We're about to go back out there." And I'm like, "Right now?" And he's like, "Yeah." So me and a couple of the other guys run back out there, and I see like the band out there, and I was like, it doesn't look like we're about to kick this field goal. So they went back in. They're like, no, we're just going to kick it at the beginning of the end of the first half, at the beginning of the second half. So it was definitely interesting, but yeah.
It's been cool to see your game grow. Obviously, you're one of the guys that was here in the previous staff. You hang on and then carve yourself a nice role in this offense. And I asked Coach about it last week, and he said, hey, it's because you can block first, and you're a part of the run game first, which then allows you to be a part of the passing game. How has your game developed over the past 3 years? Because I remember when you first got here, it was, hey, you're the pass-catching guy. And then now we don't really talk about you that way. How has that progressed for you over the past 3 years?
Yeah, I think the thing that is important that the coaches kind of told me is, look, we want you to be the guy that we never have to take off the field. So whether that's a run situation, whether that's a passing situation. So like you said, my first year I was a little bit undeveloped strength-wise, so that was something that was a focal point when the new staff came in. So they kind of wanted to develop me more well-roundedly and work on my passing, so that I felt like I got a lot better at that last year. And then having this spring ball this past year was really big for me. I think that took a huge step in my game, especially blocking-wise. So. And I think that's kind of been able to also open up the passing game, because when you have a tight end that can block really well, that's when the block and release comes. That's when you kind of have to be ready for him to do anything.
You're listening to Lake McRee on Trojans Live. I'm wondering who are the guys that you look at your position in the NFL, who are the guys that you admire? And then when you talk about those guys, we all watch on Sunday, we watch someone like Travis Kelce. He always seems like he's open, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you take a Travis Kelce, he couldn't beat Tyreek Hill in a foot race any day in his life. If you gave him a 20-yard head start, he couldn't beat him, but he's always open. Right. I'm curious what the key in that position is to being that guy that's not necessarily, going to run by people, but yet you're finding spots over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's actually something that Coach Hansen talks to us about. So when we watch film on Travis Kelce or guys like George Kittle or those guys in the league that are very successful, it's not the routes that look super pretty. They're kind of just really good at finding grass or understanding the defense or what's going to be open. Or sometimes it's just kind of staying on their route. So the beginning of the route won't look super pretty. They'll have a collision with a linebacker or whatever, but they'll kind of just let the linebacker flush out of there, and they'll find open grass, and then that's when the ball will get put on them. So that's something that Coach Hansen, our tight end coach, always emphasizes, is just kind of always stick with it. Or as Coach Riley calls our routes, there's a bunch of field play routes. So you kind of got to feel the grass, feel the read, feel whether you need to sit it down, break it out, stuff like that. So I think he's really good at that.
Well, one play you've been finding open grass on is that little RPO right over the middle. Missed you at Notre Dame. A little bit floated one on for you, Caleb did, but the last couple of weeks, he's found you over that middle. Is that a play where, I've always thought, he's got to get it over the linebacker, put it before the safety, but you could take a big shot on that play. Is there ever something in the back of your head like, man, I might get lit up on this one?
It's a high risk, high reward. So
oh, yeah.
I think we're really willing to take the risk on that.
You went to the same high school as Baker Mayfield, Lake Travis. Did you cross paths with Coach Riley when he was at OU on the recruiting trails?
Yeah, I did. I think Baker was already onto the pros by then. I was a sophomore in high school. I went and visited OU, and that was kind of a talking point when I went and visited up there. You know, I've seen Baker a couple times. I've thrown around with him a couple times when he's at Lake Travis in the off season. So I've been close with him.
Lake Travis, I like Lake Travis. It's a beautiful lake.
Yeah, yeah, no, and when I go and throw with him, he kind of asked me like, "Hey, how's Coach Riley? Who did he bring?" And like he's like, I was telling him about Coach Wiley, and like he was like, "Yeah, he was the exact same way when I was there." So it was kind of cool to hear that. But yeah, I went on a visit my sophomore year with my quarterback at the time, but OU didn't offer me. They had like a ton of tight ends on the roster, and they kind of were pretty open with me. They're like, "Look, we're not taking a tight end in this class at all. So, but we'd like to get you up here." So,
you mentioned high risk, high reward. I think it was a couple games ago you tried to jump somebody. Now that's a pretty good move for a tight end, because typically when they see you coming, they're going low. He didn't. So that moment that you're in the air and you realize this didn't work. What's that feeling like?
Yeah. So it goes a little deeper than that. The play right before, I was one-on-one with a guy, and he went low. And if you watch it, I looked like I was about to do it. And we called a play that was right back to me. And I was thinking, I had a couple yards before
your opportunity.
Before I ran into him, I was like, this is the same guy. He went low last play. Let's see what he does. I normally have a pretty good track record of jumping over people. And I jumped, and he didn't go low at all. And it felt like I was in the air for like 10 years. I was like, just please put me down softly.
Halloween coming up tomorrow, buddy. What do you got? I know you got something for us.
You know, I was thinking about pulling out the Larry Bird costume, short shorts and the blonde wig. I don't know if I'm going to wear that anywhere. Definitely not going to wear it to meetings like I've heard some people are doing. But, you know,
who would do that? What a dumb thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know who would wear anything like that.
I feel like the tight end room's a group that we sometimes gloss over. We talk about quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, offensive line, and then skip over to defense, and we forget about you guys. Who else in your room is really coming along? Who else is doing some good things? You're getting a lot of the reps, but who else is shining?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of guys. I mean, Jude is obviously super consistent. You know, he's really like the heart and soul of our room. Like, he's a really good guy. He does everything right. And you know, he really gets our room moving. We have Carson Tabaracci, who moved over from linebacker, so it's really impressive to see how smooth of a transition he's been able to make, you know, not ever playing tight end. I know he played, I think, running back a little bit in high school, so he's not completely, offense wasn't completely foreign. But it was impressive to see him go from, like, no transitional period in spring and just kind of throwing him in the fire because Jude was down. It was just me and him. So he was getting a lot of reps just initially off of moving. And then we have our Cade Eldridge, who's a freshman, and he's made huge steps since he came. I think he came in summer, yeah. So it's been really cool to kind of have a player come that I've been able to take under my wing, kind of like how the older guys did to me when I got there. So, yeah, he's made huge steps.
Well, go have fun on Saturday night, a sold-out Coliseum. Jump somebody for us. We're looking forward to watching Lake McRee out there against the Huskies. When you've got good beer and good vibes, it's all buenas. Don Buenaveza's Salt and Lime Lager is Baja-inspired, imported from San Diego, located near you at fine.stonebrewing.com. Looking for somebody to jump somebody? How about Isaiah Collier? USC's five-star freshman is next on Trojans Live.
Blue, 42.
Give me the energy to catch the ball, to blow by the defense, to crush whatever comes at me, to win the division, the conference. A ring?
Monster Hydro helps Grunk perform at his best every day with the energy and electrolytes your body needs to win on or off the field.
Monster Hydro, advanced hydration for everyday performance, hard charging hydration.
It's football season, which means it's tailgating season. And the place to be before every USC home game is the Modelo Ultimate Tailgate, located in the USC Trojan Fan Fest on the grass infield directly east of the Coliseum. The Modelo Ultimate Tailgate opens 4 hours before kickoff. It's free to fans of all ages, and it's perfect for all your pregame rituals, like checking out the earlier games, jamming to the DJ, grabbing a bite, and of course, kicking back with some ice-cold cervezas. Modelo, the fighting spirit of the USC Trojans. Fight on. Fight on.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of USC Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels, Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FuboTV.com.
It's time to recharge, reconnect, and rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. And with your resort favorites back in action, there's all of the excitement and comfort you love, with the peace of mind you can depend on. So whenever you're ready for a little rest, a little relaxation, and a lot of fun, we'll be here. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino today.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of USC Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
It's like getting a degree in Trojan athletics without the tuition. It's Trojans Live on your home for Trojans football, AM 790 KABC.
Don't wait until game time to plan for retirement. Open your free iTrust Capital account today and get your crypto IRA. iTrust Capital is the official cryptocurrency platform of the USC Trojans. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown. Happy to be joined by Isaiah Collier, #1 player in the country, has come here to USC. So excited to have you, Zay. Everyone is just excited for this season to start. It starts 1 week from today. Can you believe it? It's time. It feels like you've been here a little while, but it's time to get going.
Most definitely. It came real fast, so I'm excited.
What's this experience been like for you? You get here, you get to go to Europe with the team. You've been out there having football games. You enjoying college?
I'm loving it. I've been here since May, so I'm just enjoying every moment.
Has it felt as long to you as it has to me? I feel like Jordan's been telling me about you and this team that's coming up for so long, and now it's finally here. Has it felt that long to you? Because I know for me, I've been chomping, like, let's get this season going.
Yeah, to me it is, because I've played like a real game since like high school, so that was like March. So it's like I've been waiting for so long for the first game, and it's November now, so I feel like we're in that mode, game planning, things like that. So we excited to get the season started.
And you're coming across the country to go to SC. What about? I mean, a lot of guys in your spot might go to a true blue blood, basketball type program. You elect to go to SC. We're glad you're here, but what about SC and the prospects of raising this program rather than going to a program that's already at that standard really attracted you to come here?
I feel like USC was the best fit for me. The pieces that was around, I feel like we could be the team that everybody else is, like the Kentuckys and the Dukes and like that. I feel like USC could be that. So I chose the school because of the pieces we had, the players that also committed with me. So I feel like it's going to be a great year for us as a team, really.
Yeah, the pieces are around you. It's not a one-man show. You got Boogie and Kobe with you in the backcourt. They brought in DJ Rodman. There's shooters everywhere. There's bigs that you can lob it up to for sure. You're the point guard, though. It all starts with you. How long does it take to learn everybody where they want to be, where they want the ball, how they want to play so that you can really orchestrate this thing?
For me, it's always been natural as far as like just playing like a couple possessions with somebody. So after a couple possessions, I'm going to know where you want the ball at, where you going to want to shoot from, what side you going, where you prefer to shoot from, like really. So it's been natural my whole life, really.
Yeah, give me a little insight into your game. Think guard play. There's a lot of different ways you can take that. What kind of play can we expect from you?
Team player, leader. Get my whole team involved. I like to see everybody having fun. So if we all have fun, all the whole team eats. So
it's having fun scoring points though too. That
whatever it takes to win and having fun.
I was watching TikTok today at lunch, and they were asking
Of course you were.
you got to stay consistent, a little entertainment. But scrolling through the feed, Jay Billis was saying, top 5 freshmen he's most excited for. You were the first dude he named, and he said your game was you're a wizard with the ball, especially off pick and roll. When I hear that, I think like Kyrie Irving. Is that a guy that you compare your game to, or what guys in the league are you looking towards to being like, hey, that's my style?
I don't really look. I study everybody's game, but I don't really look at it and say like that's me really. So it's just like taking pieces from everybody really. So the CP3s, Ja Morant, Kyrie. I just like seeing the pick and roll. So Trae Young and all of them. So yeah.
A lot of freshmen come in, they're reserved, they're quiet, they're feeling things out. I go to practice. You're not like that. You've been talking since the day you got there.
Yeah.
Kobe talks. Who talks more during practice? You or Kobe? Who's the better smack talker on the team?
It depends. It depends who's cooking at the time. So I mean, but Kobe gonna talk for a while. So I mean, he win or lose, he talking for sure.
What's it like having a guy like that to be able to battle against? I mean, to me, he is a front runner for Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, maybe National Defensive Player of the Year. That's a guy that's going to challenge you day in and day out in practice. How does that make you better?
It makes me better just seeing what I could do offensively. Just learning from like how he guards the ball. I know it's difficult, so I mean having the best defender in the country guarding you every day in practice. I mean that's helpful. So I mean you prepare for the game really. So yep.
A lot of great players on this team. What are the expectations for you guys as you start? Obviously, from the outside in, we think, wow, what a great team. What can they do together? But you guys internally probably have your own expectations. What do you guys expect to do?
I mean, for us, we all still learning each other. As far as just like the like just learning as far as like film and things like that. So, like just running plays and things like that. So I mean, I feel like it's we all catching up to each other. First game coming up, I feel like we're going to be prepared because we've dealt with the adversity and challenges already, like with injuries and things like that. So I mean, I feel like it just built us throughout the whole summer, and I just feel like it's November now, so we're prepared for all the challenges coming up.
I know it's a team game and you got to get used to your whole team, but for a lot of SC fans, it's exciting to have you and then Bronny, you, and that was kind of how the conversation was. Did you guys know each other on the recruiting trail, and how's that relationship grown over the past 6 months or so?
Yeah, I played Bronny when I was in 4th grade.
No, dang, so it's been a while.
Yeah, so we like really knew each other since like middle school for us. So. I already knew who he was before, recruiting stuff, or even college and high school really started. So, I mean, I always, really admired his game, really. So, it was like, I mean, we always compliment each other on each other's game. So, I mean, it was like, I feel like we could fit real well here at USC. So that's where it came about, really.
Well, the Trojans start on Monday night, a week from tonight. It's a 7 p.m. tip in Las Vegas. So we'll go on at, I think we go on at 6:40, 6:45. I'm the one person in the world that should know that, and I don't really remember. Got to get back into form. You get nervous before? Will you be nervous before the game? What's your pregame mindset?
I do this every day, so I mean it's just something I love to do every day. So I mean I'm not really nervous going into a game. I mean, I just look at it as another game, another platform, really, but it's a new level. So, I mean, it should be exciting.
This is what you were born to do. We can't wait to see you do it on the biggest stage. And then the home opener for the Trojans is a 6 p.m. tip. That is a week from Thursday. So let's pack Galen for Isaiah's home debut. It's also the debut of Juju Watkins. Our Women's Spotlight is brought to you by Sprouts Farmers Market, open 7 days a week. Visit your neighborhood Sprouts for good-for-you groceries and great prices on the freshest produce. USC is the first school ever to have the number one player in the country in the men's and women's side come in the same season. Juju and the women will open during the day session on True TV of that Las Vegas showcase. The men's game will be on TNT, and then the women's opener is a week from Friday at Galen, the women's home opener. Thank you, Isaiah. Have a great season, man. Ball out. We can't wait to watch. Our football roundtable is next on Trojans Live.
Once you get the meat and cheese for your sub freshly sliced right in front of you at Jersey Mike's, I'll tell you, there's no going back to anything else. That'd be like going back to dial-up internet. Ugh. Am I connecting to space to order Jersey Mike's? Any day now. Okay, it's about to connect. What? Who picked up the phone? Nope. There's no going back once you see it freshly sliced at Jersey Mike's. A sub above.
Blue 42.
Give me the energy to catch the ball, to blow by the defense, to crush whatever comes at me, to win the division, the conference. A ring?
Set. Hut.
Monster Hydro helps Grunk perform at his best every day with the energy and electrolytes your body needs to win on or off the field.
Monster Hydro, advanced hydration for everyday performance, hard charging hydration.
Tommy Trojan is at the 10, the 5, touchdown, USC! Make big plays on the field and in life. With iTrust Capital, you can buy and sell crypto 24/7 with the tax benefits of a retirement account. That's right, invest in crypto with the tax advantages of an IRA. iTrust Capital is easy to use and has no sign-up fees. Don't be a Monday morning quarterback. Make big plays now. Visit iTrustCapital.com to start investing today. iTrust Capital, the official cryptocurrency platform of the USC Trojans. Taxes and conditions may apply. Fees apply. Cryptocurrencies are a speculative investment.
Introducing Stone Fight On Pale Ale with a balanced blend of hops and a deep golden color as vibrant as the Southern California sunshine. Stone Fight On Pale Ale is brewed to be the perfect companion for the beach, the tailgate, or cheering on the Trojans. Stone Fight On Pale Ale is best enjoyed by holding a can in one hand and raising a V for victory with the other. Find Stone Fight On Pale Ale near you at find.stonebrewing.com. That's find.stonebrewing.com. Stone Brewing is a proud partner of USC Athletics.
USC Trojan fans, Smart Stop Self Storage is ready for game day. Smart Stop Self Storage is committed to making the self-storage experience easy and hassle-free for all Trojan fans. Whether you're storing your Trojans tailgate gear, need temporary storage while moving to a new home, or need a storage solution for your business, we're here for you with convenient locations throughout Southern California. Smart Stop Self Storage, the smarter way to store. Visit smartstop.com to reserve your space today. Fight on. Fight on.
Looking for the play of the day? That's easy. Fight on to victory with USC and fly on faster with ONT, the fastest and easiest airport experience in SoCal. Not to mention, Ontario International Airport has over 65 nonstop flights to more than 20 major destinations with less traffic coming in and out. In other words, getting here is a breeze, and so is following our Trojans anywhere the season takes them. Because let's be honest, faster is always better when it comes to your airport. Start planning your next journey today at SoCalSoEasy.com.
This is how we do it.
Let's get you back to more Trojans Live on your home for Trojans football, AM 790 KABC.
Want the inside scoop on this game and all things Trojans? Be sure to sign up for the 3 Torches presented by Smart and Final. It's a free newsletter that'll hit your email inbox 3 times a week with game info, player insights, and more. Go to usctrojans.com/3torches and sign up. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown, Collier here for our weekly football roundtable. Plenty to talk about from a wild game. I mean, that was just a game right from the start. We had a 10-minute delay with the protest. We had a 10-minute delay at halftime, and just a bunch of wackiness in between. It was the most Pac-12 after dark game that ever existed during the day. It was just pure quintessential Pac-12 after dark. What if anything, do you take away from a game like that?
Well, my main takeaway is that you can finish the second quarter in the second half of a game. I didn't know that was possible. That
was new.
So that was the first takeaway. No, I think just there were lessons learned from the Utah game. I thought that they used Marshawn Lloyd and Austin Jones more. I mean, Marshawn Lloyd ended up being USC's second leading receiver. I thought using him as a pass catcher was a good move, and it kind of sparked things in the fourth quarter when USC was down by multiple touchdowns. So I just think leaning on the run game and making defenses honest. I think it helps USC in the RPO game. So I think that was my main takeaway, that it really helped open things up there.
My main takeaway is exactly what Lincoln talked about in terms of that moment in the third quarter when you got the turnover, then you turned it over right after, and then you got a 3 and out. You could visually see, I was watching the game on my couch, you could visually see how much more energy the entire team got. And I think that speaks to one, like, that it's in there, like they can unlock that. But then two, I also think it speaks to those first 2 quarters, maybe guys are playing with a level of anxiety because they know they're not playing up to the level that they need to, and it's on the coaches, it's on the leaders of this team to unlock that early on in this game, because everyone knows it's in there. It's just a matter of unlocking it early and then consistently throughout the game.
Yeah, finding a way to win that game was, I thought, the most impressive part of it. Now there's a lot of bad in there, right? The first quarter of defense, I've never seen a defense played like that before, giving up the explosive plays, and you could see the defense was embarrassed. They were getting kind of, you could see Alex Grinch was really ripping into him on the sideline. So for them to bounce back like that, make some turnovers, create some plays where they were getting off the field and giving the offense a chance was impressive, because it's hard to bounce back in the middle of a game when you're getting whooped, right? When you can't find a play. and to turn it, to still have that fight, I think was the most impressive play. Because I've been in a lot of those games where it's just like, man, it's not our day. Maybe we're not going to get. But these guys continue to fight, and they continue to scrap their way in the game and find some wins.
You know what's crazy about that game? It's a 50-49 game, 99 points between the two teams. USC defense got 9 stops.
Yeah, there's a ton of possessions.
Do you know how
much for the clock rules?
Do you know how many games this year the USC defense has gotten more than 9 stops?
No.
2.
Wow. Which games?
The Nevada and Stanford, 2 total blowouts.
Wow.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the coach sort of said it afterwards. That's why I looked it up. It was like an NBA game in that sense. And you almost, like in the NBA, it's like, you get cooked. You got to keep coming back. And it's like, that's sort of what you're talking about is like, they got up off the mat. Like, it's not a day that's probably maybe going to go on a lot of their resumes or show reels, but they made a lot of plays in a game where a lot of plays were made on them. 3 takeaways. There were 4 total takeaways, but 3 by the defense and 3 fourth down stops.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you guys thought of Eric Gentry having a bigger role in this game. He obviously came up with a huge turnover, but I was curious from the defensive guys. I know you're not Max, but you're smart. What did you think?
I think for me, you just notice it. I mean, the one interception he got and the other one that he should have got, like you noticed, that's a narrative we saw last year of his ability to command the middle of the field, and for defenses that are trying to attack that, he's able to really take over that territory. And I feel like for a lot of those guys, Gentry, even I know Shane Lee's been banged up and whatnot, but you haven't seen that jump from those guys that I think we expected in year 2 of this system. It was good to see that, and like Leakin said, maybe that's the moment where they don't look back and they grow off that, and that's something you can build off playing a explosive Washington team.
And it's a turnovers for him. He created turnovers last year. He's created a turnover this year. I know the injuries were a problem early, and who knows why he wasn't really in the mix. But I mean, the guy is so long, and he just creates so many problems out there. Is it perfect all the time? No, but I mean, the turnovers and the length that it creates for the offense is you got to have to get the guy out there.
And I thought the biggest thing was that second half felt like the first time all year that they knew exactly who the 2 linebackers they wanted in were. I thought that was the best Mason Cobb's played all year, and we talked a ton about Gentry on the broadcast, but going back and looking at it, 15 tackles for Mason Cobb. He was everywhere. 2 tackles for loss. He was really effective. It's obviously sort of the ugly side of football, but like knocking Jaden Ott out of the game was a huge moment in the game. I mean, Cobb came hard and made a physical play, and that's what people have been sort of asking for more of. And, Cobb and Gentry, to me, finally sort of solidified that position, and in doing so, they look more solid as a defense. As Coach mentioned, the gaps started getting filled consistently, and I think a lot of trying to find your best personnel has also led to, hey, I'm not as comfortable, maybe my communication with somebody, or maybe with just inconsistency. It feels like, I feel really good that they are going to start on Saturday.
Yeah. It took a long time, I think, to get to where they can find their guys, and that's because of injuries, like we said, you couldn't really find your guys, but now they found them. I think another issue was penalties. I think the defense in the secondary, ton of penalties on that back end, a lot of technique stuff they got to clean up. You can't play really good defense if you're just giving them 15 yards for pass interference all the time.
It was the most penalized game of the season, 11 penalties.
Yeah, got to clean that up.
I looked that up. Max, I'm wondering. When you go into a game as a quarterback, in football you don't play the other quarterback, you play the defense. Were you ever cognizant, though, of like, hey, everyone else is going to build this as Caleb versus Penix? Is that something that goes in your head as a quarterback?
Yeah, it's interesting because, I didn't have the runway that Caleb had to even get to that point, but I would imagine there's some of that with Caleb, especially the way that the national narrative shifted over the past 3 weeks, where even his odds to be the number 1 overall pick have decreased substantially. The Heisman odds have flipped, and now the Penix and the Drake Mays of the world, it's more of a trendy thing to say that.
Shoulder.
Yeah, so I would imagine there's a little bit of that. I think that question is probably more pointed at Michael Penix to be like, this is his opportunity to show that he can play with the Heisman Trophy winner, and potentially for him, this is his Heisman moment. So I think that question's more front of mind from the Huskies standpoint. But you better believe, we've been around Caleb enough to know that he wants to prove a point, and this is an opportunity for him to do so.
Yeah, the stage is set again. However things have gone over the last 3 games, the Trojans are in control of their own destiny in the Pac-12, and they go into first place with a win on Saturday. So it's right there still for Caleb Williams to lead this team back to the conference championship. We'll see if he and company can get it done. Monster Energy, the official energy drink of USC. Unleash the beast. Fight on, Trojans, and fly on with ONT. Ontario International Airport is a proud sponsor of our USC Trojans. Visit SoCalSoEasy.com to book your journey through ONT today. And Trojans Live is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC football. Speaking of Pechanga, our over-under final segment is next. Trojans Live.
It's time to recharge, reconnect, and rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. And with your resort favorites back in action, there's all of the excitement and comfort you love with the peace of mind you can depend on. So whenever you're ready for a little rest, a little relaxation, and a lot of fun, we'll be here. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino today.
While USC is making game-changing moves on the field, Athletic Brewing Company is changing up what's in the cooler while you enjoy the game. Athletic Brewing crafts great-tasting and award-winning non-alcoholic beers that are fit for all times. When it comes to flavor, there's no competition. Try it for yourself. First-time customers can use code USC10 to get 10% off their first six-pack at athleticbrewing.com. Near beer, fit for all times. Exclusions and conditions apply.
The mountains you climb may be stairs. The records you set may be personal. The fans you inspire may be family. But you don't need to be an athlete to get the same nutrition, energy, and hydration products Trojan athletes get. For that, you just need Honey Stinger. Nutrition specifically formulated to help you prepare, perform, and recover at your best. Honey Stinger, official nutrition partner of USC Athletics.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of USC Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels. Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FuboTV.com.
Covering the Trojans on the field.
Caleb keeps it, rolls right, steps up, steps back, steps forward.
Stop moving! Is damn near impossible. Luckily, they do it from behind the mic. It's Trojans Live on your home for Trojans football. AM 790 KABC.
Welcome back to Trojans Live on a Monday night. This is the best time of year. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown, Collier. It's dark out. This is not the best time of year.
Are you saying that because of his costume?
I mean, I wasn't specifically referring to Halloween, but there's as sports. You got Washington in town on Saturday, a massive game at the Coliseum. Hoop season starts next Monday. The home openers next Thursday and Friday.
Sports-wise,
the sports calendar is packed.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about life.
Life in
you're more
general.
of a summer guy.
Lay it out
Chat
on the
a little
beach,
bit. Yeah, no,
it's getting a little cold for me now.
Over Under is presented by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC Athletics. Okay, here we go. Over Under 48.5 points for the winner's score this week. So the winning team scores 49 or more.
Oh, man. The over-under for both teams is, 76?
76, which would, that could have both teams in the 30s, theoretically.
I'm going over. I think both these offenses are legit, and I think if SC is going to win this game, we gotta put up some points.
I'm going under on that one. Stanford slowed down Washington a bit, and I think there's a little game plan out there maybe to slow them down. And
ASU really did.
But that's what's crazy is Stanford slowed them down. You're right. And they put up 45?
Yeah, but I don't think they scored a touchdown against ASU, right? I believe
they didn't. Passing
they just kicked
touchdown.
field goals and they had a defensive touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So watch the ASU film.
Sean,
watch that ASU film.
We're under.
ASU was the first team that sort of slowed us down too, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's a good point. I want to say under just because every game that we predicted this season has been not what we expected.
That's how I feel, Keely. We're on the same page.
Look at us.
I'm just going under because when you go, it's going to be 55, 52, it kind of never is.
Yeah. So
Lame.
I was trending over, but I want to keep this energy, Jordan, so I'll say under.
I will say, when you watch the Huskies this season, you can tell real quick if a defense has a game plan that is going to stop them or not. In the first couple series,
quick,
it's either
Well, they love that deep ball, and if you let them get over the top, They will hurt you, as we mentioned. We'll talk a lot about it during the Trojan Tailgate show. That'll go on at 2:30 on Saturday. And then we'll have the big kick on Saturday at 4:30, USC versus Washington. Thank you to everybody tonight. Thanks, Rick. Thanks for everyone booking the show, everyone behind the scenes. Have a happy Halloween from Sean and the team.
Happy thoughts.
Bye on, everybody.
You can't spell victorious without USC.
4th and 9. This is the ball game. Takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, throws for the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, USC.
Trojans Live was presented by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Make sure to check back in next Monday night at 7 for more Trojans Live. Exclusively on your home for all things Trojan, AM 790 KABC. And follow us on the USC Trojan Media Network. Trojans Live is an exclusive presentation of Play Fly Sports on AM 790 KABC and the USC Trojan Media Network.